Hello everyone. Today we are going to present our topic inner classes in Java, which is a part of object-oriented programming language. My name is Manasvi Patil and my teammate.
My name is Riya Patil.
We are going to explain this concept. In this presentation, we will understand the definition, types of inner classes, syntax, examples, applications, and the differences. What is an inner class? Let us start with the basic concept. An inner class in Java is simply a class that is declared inside another class. The class that contains the inner class is called the outer class. The main idea behind inner class is that sometimes a class is only useful with another class, so instead of creating it separately, we define it inside the outer class. One important feature is that an inner class can access the members of the outer class, including the private variables and methods. This is very helpful because normally private members cannot be accessed outside the class, but inner classes act as a trusted component of the outer class. So, for example, imagine a laptop class and inside it is a processor class. The processor logically belongs to the laptop, so defining it inside the laptop class makes the design more meaningful. So overall, inner classes help represent logical relationships between classes. Now the question is, why do we need inner classes? So there are mainly three reasons. First one is for better code organization. When a class is only used by another class, placing it inside the outer class keeps the code organized and easier to understand. Second is for logical grouping of classes. Sometimes certain helper classes only exist to support another class. Inner classes groups them logically together. Third one is for improved encapsulation. So because of this benefits, inner classes helps make Java programming language more readable, structured, and maintained. Then we have types of classes. So there are four types of classes in Java. The first one is static inner class. Then we have non-static inner class. Then third one is local inner class, and fourth one is anonymous inner class. Each of these have different behaviors and they are used in different situations in programming. So let us try to understand each of the type one by one. So the first type of inner class is static inner class. A static inner class is declared using the static keyword inside the outer class. One important property is that it cannot directly access non-static members of the outer class. This is because static elements belong to the class itself rather than to objects. Another important characteristic is that a static inner class can be created without creating an object of the outer class. This makes it useful when the inner class does not depend on instance variables of the outer class. So static inner classes are mainly used when the inner class acts more like a helper class related to the outer class. Then we have an example for static inner class. Here we have laptop class and inside it there is a static inner class called processor. So the processor class contains a method called getCPU which returns the processor type, and in the main method we create an object using the syntax. Here we can see that we are creating the processor object without creating the laptop object first. Then we print the CPU type using the method. This example shows how the static inner class can work independently of the outer class object. Here we did use the keyword static in this code. Then we have the second type, which is non-static inner class. A non-static inner class is a class inside another class without the static keyword. So this type of inner class is declared without the static keyword. Unlike the static inner class, this type requires an object of the outer class to be created first. The biggest advantage of non-static inner class is that they can access all members of outer class, including private variables and methods. Because of this property, member inner classes are useful when the inner class needs to work closely with the outer class data. Here we have an example for non-static inner classes. In this example again we have a laptop class and inside it we define a RAM inner class. The RAM class contains a method get RAM size, which returns the RAM size. To create an object of this class, we first create an object of the outer class. So over here, laptop is equal to new laptop. We created an object. Then we create the inner class object using this laptop.ram is equal to l.newram. This syntax shows that the inner class depends on the outer class for object, outer class object. Finally, we call this method and we print the RAM size.
So the third type is local inner class. A local class is defined inside a method, loop, or a block. This means that the class is only accessible within that method. It cannot be used outside the method where it is declared. Local inner class are usually used when we need a small helper class that performs a task inside a specific block. Because of their limited scope, they help the program clean and prevent unnecessary class exposure. Let's understand the example. So in this example, we define a local inner class inside the display method. The inner class contains a method called print, which prints a message. Inside the display method, we create the object of inner class and call the print method. Since the class exists only inside the method, it cannot be accessed outside display. So this is why it is called local inner class. Now the last type is anonymous inner class. And anonymous inner class is a class without a name that is declared and initiated at the same time. Anonymous classes are usually used when we need a class only once, especially when working with interfaces or abstract classes. Instead of creating separate files, we directly implement the method where the object is created. This saves time and keeps the code shorter. Now let's understand the anonymous class example. So we have declared a abstract class which is test, inside which we have declared an abstract method which is show method. And in the main class, which is demo class, we have created an object for the abstract class test, and we have printed the message anonymous inner class. Now let's understand the application of inner class. Inner classes are widely used in real Java applications. One major use is event handling. By frameworks like Swing or JavaFX, inner classes are used to handle events such as button clicks. Another use is encapsulation. Inner classes help to hide inside outer classes. They are also used in callbacks and listeners, where small pieces of code respond to certain actions. Finally, they help maintain cleaner and more organized code, making programs easier to manage and maintain. So to conclude our presentation, inner class helps organize code better. Java supports four types of inner classes, which are local inner classes, anonymous inner classes, static inner classes, and non-static inner classes. Inner classes are classes that are defined inside another classes. They help organize code and improve encapsulation and logically grouping the related data. Java. In Java, each type has its own purpose and is used in different programming situations. Understanding inner classes help programmers write more structured and efficient Java structures. So that was all about inner classes.
We hope you found our presentation informative. Thank you.